welcome back to the Coco channel. Today I did a get ready with me using all drugstore brands, which I think is just perfect for gearing up for back to school. I know a lot of people are already back in school. We, however, here in DC do not start until next Tuesday randomly. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. I tell you my awful horror story of travel in this video. It is quite lengthy. It's about 20 minutes long. So if you would like to hear the full story of how it was awful and to see how I achieved this look using all drugstore brands, just keep watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is prime my face. This is the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser from Maybelline, and I just dropped the cap. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my hands and put that all over my face. Okay, so let the story begin. Okay, so Saturday, today's Wednesday, but this video isn't going to go up until Friday. And I left on Saturday. So I'm going to start from the beginning because it is so crazy. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with Pond's Luminous BB Cream. This is Luminous Finish, Tone Perfecting Complex, plus it has SPF 15, which we're still in summer. So I'm just going to pop some on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to go in with my Sigma F80 Kabuki. Okay, so the night before we left, my son is teething right now. He's 4 months old now, which is crazy, but he's teething to the max. Like, oh, poor baby. So we didn't get any sleep the night before. We went to bed at 8, and he didn't end up falling asleep until about midnight. And we had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday to go to the airport. So get up, and I'm exhausted, but I'm thinking, you know, he'll probably fall asleep on the plane. And even when we get home, I'll be able to take a nap because my husband, you know, can take care of him. And so it's a direct flight, 4 hours from Phoenix to DC. It's actually like 4 hours and 25 minutes. And so we get on, you know, we get to the airport, and mind you, I'm by myself. So I have his diaper bag, my purse, and then my parents went in with me, and so I could check the bags that way. I wasn't like carrying everything by myself. So we get through security and everything, and I was flying Southwest, and okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my Flower concealer. So we are flying Southwest, and with Southwest you get a section number and you don't get like assigned seating, which is a little bit different, but Southwest is usually cheaper and they have nonstop flights. Plus you get 2 free checked bags, which with other airline companies you have to pay for it. So, oh man, I forgot my freaking thing. Sorry, don't mind me. So I get on, you know, I get through security, and with security you have to carry the baby. So I put him in his Baby Bjorn, which is like the carrier on the chest, and then you have to break down the stroller, just fold it, and then you have to break down the stroller, and then I had to click the car seat into the base, because with Southwest, if the flight isn't full, they'll let you put your car seat in the seat, and then that way you don't have to carry them. And so I'm gonna go back in with my F80 Kabuki because I forgot my beauty blender. So the flight is full naturally. So once you get through security and everything, which it was really nice because they didn't make me take out my breast milk or anything. They like just let everything go through. They didn't make me take off my shoes, nothing. It was so easy, and so I was like, yes. So we get to the gate, the lady tells me the flight is full, so then you have to go to another counter, and they have to like, basically what they do at the ticketing counter downstairs, they have to put like another tag on the stroller and the car seat because it's separate. Because when you start boarding the plane, you leave it at like the side. So, now I'm going to set it with my City Color HD setting powder. Oh my gosh, this thing ain't even open. So I get on the plane and I wanted to sit in the very back. Number one, because I have a baby and, you know, I'm courteous of other people. Like, if he were to start crying or anything, like, I would want to be at the back. In my mind, that's, like, less noise for the rest of the people. I was just trying to be courteous. Plus, number two, there's a bathroom back there, so I could hop up and change him, or if I had to go. And so I got a really good seat all the way in the back in the window. And the cutest little old couple sat next to me. The gentleman was, like, a World War II vet, which was, like, really cool. And his wife, they were, like, super nice. They said if I ever needed anything, or if, you know, if I had to go to the bathroom or anything, that they would, like, hold the baby and stuff like that. They were super, super nice. So, we're, like, 3 hours in, right? And we start descending. And I'm thinking, what in the world? So the pilot comes on, and he's like, I bet you're wondering why we're going down. Well, the whole entire East Coast air traffic control is down. We're going to be landing in St. Louis. But before we do that, we're too heavy with fuel. So we're going to have to circle the city a couple times. We were literally in the air for like another 45 minutes. At that point, like, we would have been almost home. We have to circle the city because we had too much gas. So we finally land. And they're not giving us any information of what's going on. So we land and, like, everyone's just kind of, like, thinking, what in the world? And the pilot comes back on and says, you know, that we can get off the plane. And for those of the people that had another connecting flight in Baltimore, which I didn't, that was my final destination, they would have to go to the ticket counter and get another connecting flight. No one was going to make their connecting flights. That everyone was going to miss it. And so they had to reroute everyone. And so they said, if your final destination is Baltimore, just sit tight and relax. And so I went to the family restroom and pumped and changed Aiden and thought, you know, okay, this isn't that bad. So then there's like a huge line, and I feel awful for these people standing in line that are going to miss their connecting flights. People are talking about like going downstairs and getting like a rental car and everything else. So then not even like 20 minutes of just sitting there. Okay, sorry. So I'm going to go in with my NYX Love of Florence palette, Love in Florence. And this is my favorite C476 from Crown Brush. It's a crease shadow brush. And I'm going to go in with this color right here and just put this all in my crease. So, anyways, not even 20 minutes of sitting there, they said, if your final destination is Baltimore, which is me, that the flight has been completely canceled. So those of you who left stuff on the plane, you're going to have to show us your IDs and get back on and get all your stuff. Well, I didn't leave anything on the plane. I don't know why anybody would. And so anyways, they said, if your final destination is Baltimore, now you have to go get in this line, and they're going to have to reroute you because the whole entire radar system for TSA was down on the entire East Coast. So I'd hop on the phone with my parents, which my dad works in aviation and has for quite some time now. And so him and I were like trying to figure out like what the heck I'm going to do, because he was like looking to see if there was like other flights into anywhere, and the whole entire East Coast was shut down. Like, you couldn't get into, I go to Baltimore, which is like 40 minutes from where I am. There's Reagan, which is like 20 minutes, which is like actually in DC. There's Dulles, which is like an hour. And those are like the 3 airports that are like closest to me. So nothing, like the whole entire websites for like Southwest were like shutting down. Like everything was going down. And my dad was like, it's been hacked. And I was like, come on, just help me out, man. So now I'm going to put this really pretty purple color all over my lid. I'm going to use the same brush. So I'm standing in line for 2 hours. Mind you, I've only slept for 3 hours. I didn't eat anything that morning because I'm not typically the person to wake up hungry a lot of the times. And I just like wanted to get going because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Who's hungry at 3 o'clock in the morning? So, had I haven't eaten anything. I've only had about 3 hours of sleep, and I have to stand in this line. So as I'm standing in this line, people are going over the intercom, like the ticket, like the gate agents, and they're saying, first it was like, we'll get you out tonight. Then it was, we'll get you out Sunday. Then it was, the earliest we have is Tuesday, because my flight landed and then another flight landed, and all these people are trying to go to the East Coast. And so it was just getting booked up because I was like in the very back, and you know, I was by myself, so it's not like I could get out of line and go do what I needed to do or anything. So it was awful. So then my dad finally finds a flight to Philadelphia, which is only about 2 hours away from me, which I didn't even know that. And so now I'm going to go in with this kind of darker color, and I'm going to put that on my outer corner. So he finds a flight to Philadelphia, and it's on a different airline. It's from Delta. So they unloaded, I want to say like 4 planes worth of luggage. And St. Louis is such a small airport that they only have 2 carousels. So I had to go downstairs, but I had to go back on the plane to get my stroller and car seat, because you check it at the gate. So they put it back out there. So I put Aiden in his car seat, and I put like his backpack on, and I'm carrying my purse, and I have to go downstairs, and it's literally a sea of luggage. I mean, it took me close to 20 minutes to find my bags because there was just so much. So then I go back upstairs because now I have to go back through security because I left. I went out to luggage. And so I go back upstairs, and this terminal is for Southwest only, and I need Delta. So I have to jump on a tram to another terminal with the stroller, a backpack, a purse, and rolling 2 suitcases by myself. So I am like so upset. I'm like so upset. I'm so close to like just crying. Now I'm going to go back in with this black one and just like kind of do my outer V a little bit more intense. So I get on a tram, and I get over to the other terminal, and I have to pay for luggage. It was $60 for 2 bags. And I was like so mad because, you know, Southwest like flies for free. And the lady like wasn't even nice. She's like, "Did you get your boarding pass?" And I was like, "No, I literally just made this reservation because of all the grounded, you know, flights." And she was like, "Okay, well, you need to go get a boarding pass." And I was like, "Okay." So you have to go to like this machine and tell them that you have bags, pay for your bags there, and then go back to where she was while she was just chit-chatting it up with her friends, and then she like takes your baggage for you. So then I had to go through security again. Okay, these people made me take out all my bottles, all of my frozen breast milk that I had with me, and take off my shoes, take out Aiden, take out everything from the car seat. And I mean like everything. Like they made me take the fabric off of it, which luckily was Velcroed. I don't know what people do if it wasn't Velcroed. Like, what do you do? So anyways, I was so upset. So then I finally get through security, and I have to pump again. Like, Aiden's intake is high because he's 4 months now. So I have to pump literally every 2 hours or 3 at the most during the day. Otherwise, I mean, it's not comfortable. It's a very painful feeling. You moms know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to take this itty bitty little brush and go in with this and put this back in my inner corner just as a little highlight. So I go back and I have to pump, and by the time I'm done pumping, this plane is already boarding. So I have to this flight is full as well, so they're not going to let me put Aiden in the car seat. Naturally, I have to carry him again. And Delta is assigned seating, and I had an aisle, which you wouldn't think is a big deal. Like, most people like window or aisle, but with a baby, you want a window. That way you have something to lean up against, because you're holding, I mean, Aiden's probably like 16 pounds by now, maybe more. So I was literally like free holding him for an hour. So I have a freaking what is that called? I have a transfer, a layover. I have to land in Minneapolis and get off that plane, get the car seat again, get the stroller again, put Aiden back in the stroller. I have to run to the family restroom and pump again, change him, and the next flight was already boarding again. And this one was from Minneapolis to St. Louis, and it was 2 hours. And so I literally still haven't eaten. By this time, it's been like, I think it was like about 10 hours of total travel time by this time. And I'm exhausted. I haven't slept because that last flight Aiden did, but I was like free holding him. You can't fall asleep free holding a baby. He would fall. So I'm going to go back in with this purple and drag it under my water line. And so I was exhausted. I was hungry. And the frickin' stewardess, I asked her if I could have a water and a Diet Coke because I just wanted some caffeine, which I know Diet Coke's not the best thing for you, but anyways. And she was like, you want a water and a Coke? I was like, yeah. And she was like, hello, I'm here with a baby. An extra drink, really? And it's not even like she gave me a bottle of water. She gave me a cup of water. So she was so rude. And I was like so upset because then Aiden was awake by this time and he did really well, but as well as you can expect for an infant, getting on and off like 3 planes by this point. And it's late at night, you know, he's just in and out of the carrier, in and out of the car seat, and, you know, going up and down, his ears popping, me making sure that he's eating on the way up and the way down. And, you know, like, I have such a, like, I overthink a lot. So, like, I was constantly worried about, like, him, like, making other people uncomfortable instead of, you know what I mean, just not giving a crap, basically. You know what I mean? Like, he was obviously my #1 priority, but, like, I was just, like, constantly like, oh my gosh, you know, I hope you don't make anybody else uncomfortable. So I was like entertaining him by doing, that's like his favorite thing right now because he's just discovering his vocal cords. And this stupid little teenager sitting in front of me turns around and goes, that's really annoying. And I was like, well, it's either this or crying, so you can pick. And his parents were like sitting right next to him and didn't even say anything. I wanted to cuss that kid out, but I mean, how classy is it to cuss somebody out while you're holding like a newborn? Not very. So anyways, now I'm going to go in with my, this is the finished eyeshadow. So I'm going to go in with my Kardashian Deeply Felt. So I was like so annoyed. So then we finally land. I don't think I can talk and do this at the same time. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to do my eyeliner and I can't talk at the same time. So we finally land in Philadelphia. My husband drove 2 hours from where we live to meet me at that airport. And I was like, I am literally so tired and I cannot sit anymore. Like, I really can't. Can't stand, I can't sit. Like, I just need to lay down and go to sleep. So we got a hotel there in Philadelphia. We, like, ordered a pizza and, like, we just crashed. And like, as soon as we got in the car, poor guy, he got the baby and he, you know, he hasn't seen Aiden in like a month or me. And so, like, that magic of like being reunited was like totally taken away from us just because of how this like day went. And so, we like get in the car from getting my bags and everything, and I literally just started bawling my eyes out. I was like, it was so hard. Like, you don't understand, like, what I went through. It was so hard. And he was like, I'm so sorry, and you'll never travel by yourself again. And, you know, I think if he were there, it wouldn't be that big of a deal because, you know what I mean, he could have stood in line, or, you know what I mean, you have somebody to talk to or help you with the baby. Or if I didn't have Aiden, like, if I was just by myself, like, I probably wouldn't have cared. And I probably would have stayed in St. Louis, or, you know what I mean? Because I guess they started putting people up in hotels because, you know, people weren't getting out until, I was talking to this one girl and she said that she was staying in a hotel till Tuesday, which was yesterday. Like, I cannot imagine being, like, stranded there in St. Louis for that long. I even, texted Missy from Love Beauty, which is who I do like all my collabs with. She's like my makeup BFF. I was like, so how far are you from St. Louis? And she was like, what? But by that time, I had already gotten my flight to Philadelphia. So it was literally like anything that could have gone wrong did. And I like put it out there because remember I can't remember what video it was. I think it was my last tutorial, my green eyes. I was like, you guys, I'm so nervous about flying by myself. Blah, blah, blah. And that's what happens. Sorry, that mascara was the CoverGirl Full Lash Bloom. I have been loving this. And then now I'm going to go in with just a gloss. This is the Milani Brilliant Shine in Bare Secret. You know I love my nudes. So I'm just going to put a gloss on. I love the way this smells. Okay, so that is my horrible travel story. And I'm sorry I was like all over the place, but I did my collab on Monday with Missy, and I was like, you guys, it was awful. And I'll tell you the story on my channel. So I thought a Get Ready With Me was a perfect way to do it. Also, can we talk about my haircut? Look at how short it is. She like chopped it off. But she gave me some really cute layers, so I love that. Also, I got a tripod, so I feel like a professional. There is a big hole in my wall. Oh my gosh. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you have any horror stories about travel, I would love to hear them, because I went on for 22 minutes telling you mine. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Everything was drugstore, which I think is awesome. And I will see you guys in my next video.